So tell me about investment banking.
It's simple. For example, the other day I was being interviewed at the Coldenbergs.
Oh yes. The Coldenbergs, the well-known investment bank.
I was shown through rooms of computers, all thrumming away 24 times 7.
What were they calculating?
The prices of CDOs.
CDOs, the instruments that caused the financial crisis?
Exactly. The Coldenbergs have a huge portfolio of these toxic instruments, billions of dollars invested in radioactive paper, and they need to keep recalculating how much it is all worth.
Why do you need roomfuls of computers to do this?
Because pricing them involves sophisticated financial models requiring pages of mathematics, with Monte Carlo simulations, and there are several dimensions of risk involved.
What does it mean?
Suppose the Coldenbergs have taken a position to bet that the Bank of Amnesia will default on its bonds. Then to price that, you need to know the probability that the Bank of Amnesia will go bust. Because if they do, you earn the money.
I guess so.
But suppose the issue and counterparty is the mugging sternly, then you also need to know the probability that the mugging sternly go bust, because if they do, you won't get paid, whatever happens.
I suppose not. So how long does it take to price one of these instruments?
The simplest ones take 30 seconds.
On a modern computer? But that's enough computing power to send someone to the moon.
And they have thousands of instruments, and they have a priesthood of technicians to set up all these computers and configure them and set up all the procedures and protocols and rotas and scripts and callbacks and triggers and folders and version control systems and repositories and batch jobs and databases to keep it all going.
How can they afford to do all this?
Because money is no object. The business of trading CDOs is fantastically profitable.
Where does the money come from?
Ultimately from people who have borrowed too much money, so they end up either spending the rest of their lives working to pay it back or the government bails them out. But either way, the Coldenbergs make enough money to keep their wonderful machines going.
Is this a sensible use of resources in the year of our Lord 2010?
Apparently it is.
So tell me about the rest of your interview with the Coldenbergs.
They asked me lots of questions to make sure I had the technical skills necessary to do the job.
Is the job easy?
Well, not really. It involves lots of real-time programming and special software techniques. You also have to write all your own memory management code because the speed of the calculation is very important. And you have to have a testing framework in place to make sure there are no mistakes.
What happens if you get the calculation wrong?
Well then, the whole house of cards comes crashing down and we all end up eating dried spiders in a concrete pipe for the next 20 years.
Is that what will happen eventually, as debt is piled on debt, taxpayers squeezed to pay for all this and the whole enterprise more and more unstable?
Why would it not?